Hey guys, so today I am finally back, goodness, with another, video. I'm sorry I was gone for like a month. Oh my goodness. I did not expect to be gone for this long. I only expected to be gone for like 2 weeks because of me being sick. As you can kind of hear, I'm still slightly sick, but that's besides the point. So I have something I'd like to discuss with you guys today, just before we start this video. Well, this is going to be either my very last or one of my very last reaction videos that I'm planning on making. For me, reaction videos, in the beginning at least, they were fun. I could basically say whatever the hell I wanted and be like, "Hey, I know you find this funny, bitches." But as of late, I'm thinking, no. I don't mind making reaction videos, but it's just not as fun for me anymore. Not as fun as it was. So I'm not planning on making many more reaction videos. I might do one more reaction video after this, but that's it. And I'm sorry if you guys are disappointed by that, but it's a decision I kind of had to make at some point. So, yeah. Anyway, going back to a semi-positive note, one of my favorite YouTubers, Phantom Strider, has just uploaded not too long ago, like maybe 2 hours ago, a video called The Top 10 Worst Animated Movies. Yeah, be ready for a lot of agreeing. Alright. Let's start this reaction in 3, 2, 1, start.
Ready to go.
Alright, we're ready.
It's time to look at the worst animated catastrophes to ever foul the big screen.
Yep.
While many of us grew up with a grand selection of emotionally moving,
Yes, the
unforgettable
Andrew. Oh my
animated
goodness.
movies, in the shadows of those movies were some really lousy films, ranging from the ridiculously lazy to the overly sappy,
Oh, dear
to the
God.
just plain bizarre.
Please.
So let's dive right
Please
into the
tell
top
me that-
10 worst
Oh, no.
animated movies of all time.
Oh, it's just-
and
right,
as always,
animated
if you do
movies.
like these cartoons, that's
Good.
great. I'm pretty biased, and it's great that you can enjoy
Let's hope
something
that there's
I'm not
nothing on
able
here
to.
that I actually
So
like,
take this
because
list
that
with
will
a
be
pinch of
embarrassing.
salt. Anyway, let's do this countdown.
Well,
Number 10,
let's see.
Delgo, deep in a manure-covered land.
What?
Where humans look like broken 3D models, and opposing races look like generic World of Warcraft lizards.
Generic.
Two races war.
My
Well, at
ass.
least I think they're
What?
warring.
I mean,
the 3D models kind
I didn't
of
say
bump
anything.
up together, and then one normally falls over. So the story is
Mm-hmm.
the Norin settle in the land of Jamora with the permission
Right.
of the Lochni. There's a teenager in there trying to protect his race in a war, I think. The story is just all over the place.
All over
in
the
this
place.
one.
All right,
I
that
tried to
sounds like a
follow
lot
it.
of things.
I really did. But
Awesome
it's like
possum.
watching a swarm of bees mating in a hive. Creepy, completely incomprehensible.
I've never heard
and
of this
slightly
before.
nauseating.
I'll be honest.
Everything in this movie just felt so artificial. The characters
Artificial,
moved
eh?
like robots.
That's also
the
another thing
interactions of the characters all felt awkward
That a lot of
and
things
just
are.
irritating for some reason. This movie was despised by the public.
I would
Delgo
hope so.
managed to break
This
box
looks
office
horrible.
records in how bad it did. While
Especially since it
somehow
came out in,
costing
like, 2008
$40 million
when-
to make. The film
when,
grossed
like,
less than
Kung Fu
700
frickin'
grand.
Panda
This
came
one's
out
at the
around
top
the
of
same
list because
exact
I do
time. It's
respect
like,
the creators'
oh my
attempts to make
God.
something completely innovative. I mean, there was an entire alien ecosystem going on in the background. We just couldn't see it because of the swishy, crap-colored CG.
Right.
All the creators' intentions were good. It's a shame the film is so awkward, makes no sense, and looks like a swarm of
It probably
bees.
could have been good if some things were changed, I bet.
And for number 9, Ratatouille. Remember how
What?
thought-provoking, artistic, and beautiful Ratatouille was?
of course I
well,
do.
imagine if a crazy hobo decided to remake this movie
Well.
and painted the whole thing with the grime from under his fingernails.
Well.
That would be
This
brilliant
looks
animation
so
compared to Ratatouille.
fucking
Even
awful.
the name Ratatouille. It sounds like the creators couldn't actually pronounce Ratatouille and just gave up halfway and put a fart on the end.
No kidding.
This 3D modeling.
It
I
looks
didn't
horrible.
know it
It
got
looks
this
like
bad.
something that would be made
I
in,
liked
like-
that it had some
it would be
anime
like a
voice
90s
actors I
computer game.
recognized, but the animation alone
Like, holy
makes it
crap.
absolutely abysmal beyond saving.
From set, the food is great at Ratatouille.
Boy, that's the truth. It was my
6.5 hours
Can
later.
this be over?
I really like ice cream unless I'm certain that it's absolute.
3 days later.
Mm-hmm.
young man. I'm impressed.
Oh, get on with it!
The
Are
lip
we going to
syncing
do
is horrible.
Anything in this movie?
Oh, God.
I'm sure the food is very nice. It's all very inoffensive, but are you trying to bore your audience to death with these?
Yeah, I mean,
What am I even watching?
Okay,
It's a
this
blatant
is,
rip-off of Ratatouille that attempted to
awkward.
capitalize on those unfortunate enough to mistake the title for the Pixar masterpiece. The only redeeming
people.
factor is that I recognize some of the English anime dub voice actors,
Really?
who were clearly desperate for work to agree to voice acting this trash heap. Ratatouille. This one deserves no
Well.
attention. And for number 8, Tappy Toes.
Tappy
There are
Toes? What
sometimes
the
movies that
fuck?
pay homage to a previous movie. Then there are blatant rip-offs of popular franchises. Then there are mockbusters like Tappy Toes.
Huh.
Something that
Oh.
kind of resembles a
Happy
movie
Feet.
and that is profitable purely on
Right.
grandmas who accidentally pick it up,
Ugh.
mistaking it
I
for
actually
the
don't
original
really like
movie.
Happy
In order
Feet.
to capitalize on the
Especially
well-intentioned
not
grandma,
sequel.
95% of this movie's budget
So many
went into the
bad
DVD cover,
memories.
making it as deceptive as possible. This movie leaves me, well, ambivalent.
If I
because
don't
I
like Happy Feet, I'm
penguins.
definitely not gonna
I just
like
don't
Tappy
like
Toes.
horrendously average movies attempting to
Besides,
see the over
looks
80.
horrible.
It's probably no surprise to anyone that the animation looks like it was done by a first-year animation student.
Yeah, I was about to
purposely trying to
say,
get an F on
it
his next
looks
assignment.
very, very,
the voice acting is a
simplistic.
mixed bag of poisons and sharp daggers.
Throw myself on your mercy!
And the story has such slow pacing that I had to take a break every 10 minutes to avoid dying of boredom.
Really?
There's not much
Oh,
else to say on
Jesus.
Tappy Toes. It's
Well, remind
basically
me
a
never to go
shameless,
looking
cheap
for this
rip-off
film.
of Happy Feet that is
Oh wait, you don't have to
profoundly
fucking remind me.
dull.
I'll definitely remember.
And the 7th worst is Tentacolino, aka
What?
In Search of the Titanic. I really have to give credit
What?
to how bad this movie's animation is. The animation has that South Korean sweatshop feel to it, where you can't quite work out what the animals were originally meant to be. The story seems to be that our
Okay.
unidentifiable, badly animated friends are searching for the ruins of the Titanic and come across the lost city of Atlantis. I know that probably sounds interesting, but it really is bad.
Arrive safe and sound.
There was a dancing shark in there who is continually singing some of the most generic Disney try-hard songs I've ever heard,
Out, and needless to say, the feast is taken with the prey.
followed by an octopus
No,
whose
thank you.
lip-syncing and acting
I'm good.
skills rival Tommy Wiseau.
It's amazing.
I did not hit her. I did not.
That's
Pardon the
wow.
animation quality
I
of
mean,
the footage, but this
okay.
really is how I
That's,
received it. The plot is not only a two-dimensional shallow fanfic of the Titanic movie, it is the worst fanfic I've ever read. Tentacolino is among
kidding,
the most
huh?
forgettable animated movies I've ever watched. And for number
Alright, what's number
6?
6?
8 Crazy Nights.
Yes! Oh my
Long
freaking
ago,
goodness, yes.
In 2002. The evil Adam Sandler was
Adam
raining terror
Sandler.
down in our theaters with cinematic abominations that permanently scarred the reputation of Hollywood. But then suddenly, he stopped and thought, "Wait a minute," he said, "I could destroy the cartoon industry too." So off the evil Adam Sandler went
Well.
to create 8 Crazy Nights.
Shit.
The most terrible Christmas special ever created. His most evil abomination yet. 8 Crazy Nights is one of the most annoying,
I'm sad to say that
ear-piercing,
this came out
offensively
the year
stupid
that I was
animated
born.
movies to ever deface our local
Wow.
cinemas. filled with continual crap jokes, burp jokes, and toilet jokes. All while Adam Sandler squeals into your speakers at the top of his voice with his bizarre old man impression.
I knew this young man years ago when his moral fiber was still intact.
It seems more like a bizarre form of psychological torture than it does a movie. Sandler is not charming in this film.
Not.
The Hanukkah monster will come and take a big crap on your bed.
He's not even relatable in any way. They've
Well.
somehow managed to take all of Adam Sandler's character's worst qualities and
Yeah.
multiply them by 10.
Oh,
Things like a
sounds
30-something
lovely,
adult
doesn't
making
it?
fun of an 8-year-old's weight are considered comic gold in this movie.
Jelly Jugs, next time you come on my court, you better wear a bra, okay?
Oh, the poor freaking kid! Jesus!
It's funny because he's fat and he's a kid. The only way they could
God.
top this train wreck is by singing.
Take a whiz in those flowers.
Oh, no. I'm done. I don't think
No,
they could have
I
made
don't
this
wanna
movie
I don't
more
wanna hear
offensive if they'd renamed
singing,
it
please.
8 Crazy Cripples.
Love
It's
God,
among
no.
the most annoying animated disasters I've ever seen. Until we meet again, Sandler. Number 5.
I'm worried now.
Elf Bowling the movie.
Oh my god, yes!
Elf
Why
Bowling?
the hell do you
So,
exist?
Let me get this straight. You make one of the worst video games of all time. Then you follow this up with one of the worst animated movies of all time. Even the guy in the trailer sounds like he's just puzzling over the script he's meant to be reading.
Yeah.
Could it be that a long, long time ago, Santa started out as a pirate and
What?
wound up kicked off his own ship?
Wait, I'm meant to be saying this is interesting? Really, guys? This movie ticks all the boxes for
He was a
badness of
pirate?
biblical proportions. Eye-gougingly ugly CG, cringe-worthy
No
voice
kidding.
acting. And the story is so
oh my, and this came out in
nonsensical
2007?
that they're just as likely to
Jesus.
just break into making armpit noises. In a desperate attempt to fill a 90-minute runtime, they even added musical numbers.
Oh,
I'd like
No.
to reiterate that we are singing about elf bowling. Could any of this possibly make any less sense? So the
Yes,
story
yes, it could.
is Santa used to be a pirate. Santa used to be a pirate.
Put all them
because reasons, I guess? I don't
Then
know.
Santa's evil brother Dingle tries to ruin Christmas. Somehow this all involves elf bowling. This
Somehow.
film has so little reason to be made, it could cause a time paradox. It's completely illogical,
Do I need to
and
call
I'd
the doctor?
really avoid it. And
Can.
number 4,
I mean,
Dougal, aka the Magic Roundabout,
Yeah.
US version. Oh, I thought 4Kids editing was bad. The editing on this is just so bad,
Dougal.
so wrong, just makes no sense.
I remember this
The
movie.
CG in this one is so sickly colourful and smooth that it's nauseating.
I
CG animation has
hated
never looked
Dougal.
so sickly.
Oh, God.
What was I even complaining about with Chicken Little? This looks far worse.
Really?
Dougal is a dog
I
who was
don't know about
unfortunate enough to
that.
be beaten with an ugly stick by a very hairy man. Our poor hideous hero creates a fellowship of ugly Disney CG rejects
Whoa.
to gather the 3 stones to rule them all. On their journey, they will plagiarize Lord of the Rings with bad jokes, painful dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
and impressively lackluster action that will make paint drying seem thrilling. I just get this
Yeah.
visceral reaction to
thing
CG
as well,
like this.
isn't it?
I don't know exactly what it is, but something about looking at this animation makes me feel queasy. The main character Dougal is a dog
Yeah?
that loves candy and speaks with such a flat monotone voice that I'm still not quite sure he's not a computer voice synthesizer.
Of course! If you bring me an air pump, some glue, 4 water skis, a trombone, and a pack of...
And the main villain is an evil wizard
Would do-
called Z-Bad. And I guess his good-natured
wait,
cousin is called Z-Good. The plot is just a paper-thin Lord of the Rings fan-fiction-y mess. And most of the dialogue consists of
Like,
corny
do you
one-liners
remember
that
what
reference
language this
other
was
far
originally
better
in,
movies.
or, like-
This cut-up, broken, annoying
Please
CG
tell me-
heaping pile of ugly definitely doesn't deserve your time. Number 3.
Can someone tell me?
A Car's Life. Ah.
Ugh,
Wow.
really?
Now this is ugly CG.
No
it's just
kidding.
a 9-car pileup of hideous. I thought we had bad in Dougal, But clearly,
Oh,
we haven't
God,
even
no,
scratched
you were
the
wrong,
surface
mister. This is
of
worse.
how
Oh,
bad
God.
zero-budget
Oh,
5-minute
oh
CG can
my.
be. Imagine Fast and the Furious. Now imagine they had 1/1,000,000th of the budget. Hired a pot-smoking hobo to voice the lines. Smeared fecal matter all over the camera lens, and then, no, that movie would still be better than A Car's Life. So our hero
Well,
is Sparky.
this
Our
must be
crack-colored,
really
ugly,
bad
obnoxious
then.
hero is off to
Lovely.
the gas station.
That's
where
lovely.
he plays with a car named Diesel that turns out to be a bad influence on him.
Life is short and cruel, Sparky. Who cares what the other cars think?
Can Sparky's father stop him from doing something dangerous? Let's hope not. Let's hope these cars are all incinerated in a fiery car explosion. This movie was so bad that it gave me a new appreciation for Disney's abysmal planes.
Yeah, at least
the
it
background
looks
didn't
good.
make me nauseous. Then we get to the voices. These voices sound
God.
just awful.
Flashing lights! You were right!
For some reason, I immediately associated these
please
voices
just
with my
turn this ish
childhood
off?
nightmares.
Can we
Maybe
move to
that's
the
my
next
own
number?
bias, but when
Like,
your voice incites
now?
childhood trauma in adults, you probably shouldn't be voice acting animated talking cars. When I think of all the young, aspiring 3D animators out there struggling to find work, to see this chimpanzee pit of broken CG doodles, I just think it's just not right. If you find this DVD, I recommend you find a safe place to incinerate it. And the second
Please
worst
do.
animated
Oh my
movie
goodness.
is A Troll in Central Park.
Thank
The
you.
director of An American Tale takes children of all ages.
Okay, stop right there. This is not for children of all ages.
It
this
really is not.
monstrosity fits into the embryo to one category very snugly. And even that's pushing it.
It's for the really,
I hate this little troll. I somehow hated this movie even when I first saw it when I was 7. Freaking 7. And I still thought the Care Bears was cool. But
Really?
Care Bears was masculine
Jesus.
and cool compared to this cartoon. Don't get me wrong, I adore Don Bluth's original
Yes.
movies. Land Before Time has moments in it that still make me shed a tear 20 years after
so
first watching it.
freaking beautiful,
When Littlefoot's
God.
mother died, that timeless speech afterwards from that dinosaur to Littlefoot. Oh, just timeless brilliance.
Timeless, completely timeless.
Time, little fella.
Yeah, I love Love Before Time.
Many are probably familiar
And
with
this
one
piece of shit
as the
just came into my
nastiest
life and like,
oil on Don
no,
Bluth's
get the
career.
fuck out of my way.
How we went from
Just-
emotionally
seriously.
moving, heart-wrenching masterpieces to something so nauseatingly sappy that it makes Care Bears look R-rated.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is the
really
most sappy, sugar-coated, brainless animated movie I've ever seen. As nauseating as it is, the animation's at least clear and fairly well drawn.
Yes, but it's like
socially
so
challenged
overly
troll just
bright.
makes me
Like, oh
cringe
God.
in his creepy interactions with these very young children. Some people probably know I like a little bit of sappiness, but this just makes no attempt to challenge kids in any way.
Yeah,
kids would
it's
be
like,
more intellectually
I had
stimulated
trouble
by
watching it,
staring at a brick
like,
wall.
when I was little.
It's generic. It's
Like,
just the
seriously,
most sickly,
it's
sappy,
bad.
contrived piece of
Really
animation
bad.
I've ever seen. Troll in Central Park is terrible for children of all ages. Rated S for stupid.
Yes.
Before we get to number 1, I'd like to give a couple
Honorable
of quick
mentions.
honorable mentions.
Ooh.
Little Panda Fighter.
Yeah.
Jeebus! The CG on these just keeps
God.
getting worse. A terrible rip-off of Kung
No
Fu Panda.
kidding,
The
it's a
animation
terrible
stinks,
rip-off.
and the voice
God.
acting is very subpar. There's little else to say. Drawn Together, the movie.
Oh,
This movie
yes.
is bad. In fact, I consider it among the worst cartoons of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I hate it, but simply because it's bad. This isn't just a 9-car pileup. It's a citywide explosive disaster
It's
that took out
just
anything
horrible.
within a 10-mile
God.
radius,
Ugh.
destroying the careers of an entire team of writers and voice actors in its nightmarish wake. But I
Yeah.
have talked about it before in my worst cartoons, so I left it off the list. Norm of the North.
Oh my
Norm
dear
has a
God, this
tedious,
piece of shit.
meandering
Yes.
story and incredibly uninteresting characters. But it was another I just didn't find quite insultingly bad enough to be among the absolute worst.
The CGI is
problem
actually
was, I
kind
was
of
just
okay.
bored watching this one the whole way
But
through.
it's just very,
it didn't
very
really offend
freaking
me on a
boring.
personal level though, so I left it off the list. Nutjob. I didn't
yeah.
forget it. I actually just found Nutjob refreshingly inoffensive. The CG isn't bad, and the voice acting is okay.
Yeah,
and it seemed like the writers were at least
it
trying with the story.
could be
So I gave it a
worse.
skip. Hoodwinked 2. The CG is pretty subpar, but I didn't mind the story that much.
Yeah.
The script and wordplay did feel weak as water, but I felt like the voice actors were trying their best to make
it was-
something good
yeah,
out of this one.
the
So it
point
didn't
was,
quite make
like,
the
try,
list.
right?
Chicken Little. Personally,
Yeah, that's basically
I think
true.
even the worst of animated Disney movies is better than these movies. I'll
Wow.
admit, Chicken Little is looking pretty good compared to these.
yeah,
Anyway,
actually,
here we
now
go.
that you mention it.
And the number
Yeah.
one worst animated
Who's
movie
number one?
is Food Fight.
Yes! Thank you very much.
I'll make space.
Welcome to How to Make the Worst Animated Movie of All Time.
you, I always
Here we
wanted
will
to be
demonstrate
here.
everything you should do to assure your audience is running and screaming from their seats in terror. 1. Begin by making your backgrounds as blurry and block-like as possible.
Okay.
Audience members should have no idea what they're actually meant to be looking at.
Alright.
2. If you're not moving the camera, there's clearly something wrong with you.
Okay.
Even in a still shot, make sure you're continually zooming the camera in and out. You should be
Okay.
constantly attempting to give your audience motion sickness.
Okay!
3.
Sounds
make
like
sure
a
the
good
green
thing.
of your trees is that special puke color to make the audience envision the great metropolitan sewerage system when they're watching your cinematic train wreck. 4. Assure the camera is jerky, and I
Okay.
mean really jerky.
Like,
it should give
like
your audience
really,
the
really
impression
jerky?
that their
Oh,
computer
okay, that
screen is
sounds
broken.
like a good thing.
5.
That won't make
sure
people
your
pissy at
characters look
all.
as dead-eyed and zombie-like as
Zombie-like?
possible. Make sure their skin
That's
has that
easy.
special plastic
I guess I
texture
don't have to
it,
put in a
so
yeah
the
for
audience
now.
feels like they're staring at undead Barbie dolls. 6. Congratulations, you now have your walking abominations. Now assure they
Yay.
regularly mug to the camera in order to terrify your audience. If your audience is not crapping their pants, then continue to practice. 7. Have at least one of your characters literally be the color of crap. This will assure your audience has most definitely thrown up before the 15-minute mark. 8.
Okay.
All movement should be unnatural, highly disturbing, and make your audience envision the dancing demons of hell. 9.
Okay,
There should
that
be at
can
least
be
200
done.
advertising references in your movie. This will make your audience feel cheap, degraded, and manipulated. Number 10. Have twisted, bizarre morals and strange bestiality undertones in your characters.
Wow.
This will assure the 2 remaining audience members who haven't run out of the theater screaming feel tormented and horrified.
Well, okay. I'll totally make a movie now. Just you wait, it's coming out soon. I swear.
Congratulations! Your ungodly abomination of mankind is now ready to be unleashed upon the world.
Yay.
Nostalgia Critic was right. Jontron was right. Why didn't I listen to them? This makes Chicken Little look like the Mona Lisa.
Yeah!
The
Like,
jokes are
holy
terrible,
crap.
the lines make no sense, the graphics are a heinous catastrophe, the lip syncing doesn't even try to match what they're saying, and the lines they spout wouldn't pass in a German porno. Food Fight
Really?
is the worst animated movie
I didn't
I've
think it
ever
was
had the misfortune
that
of
bad,
watching.
but it is
You know what
really
the strange
bad.
part is? Apart from exceptions like that, animated movies are one of the best guarantees of a good movie experience nowadays. I personally
Yeah.
think animated movies are actually one of the leaders in quality cinema nowadays. So really, I had to look very hard to find these, because there's just too many good animated movies out there.
That
now.
is
There are
true.
too many masterpieces to even notice the occasional
I
bad
was just
ones.
meatballs. Oh my
Do you think I
god.
missed a couple of movies? If you think so, feel free to let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching,
yeah.
and I'll see you next time.
I actually kind of can't think of any, which is somewhat sad. I'll be honest. I wish I could think of more, but I can't. That's saying something. Like that really shows you just how little I've actually seen, or just how many bad anime movies there are out there. Like there's clearly not a lot, so yeah. Anyway, that was the top 10 worst anime movies of all time according to Fem Strider, and I guess that's the end of the video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed either my very last or one of my last reaction videos. And I hope to see you guys in one of my next videos. I love you guys. Bye.